When I first decided to study in Tokyo, I had a mixture of excitement and nervousness swirling in my stomach. The idea of leaving behind everything familiar, friends, family, the cozy comfort of my hometown, and diving headfirst into one of the most vibrant, fast-paced cities in the world was both thrilling and terrifying. But deep down, I knew this was an opportunity of a lifetime. Tokyo, with its neon-lit streets, quirky fashion districts, and the perfect blend of ancient tradition and cutting-edge modernity, seemed like the ultimate place to grow, learn, and discover not just a new culture, but also myself. And honestly, it was all that and more. If you're considering studying in Tokyo, buckle up because this experience will be a wild ride you'll never forget. The first steps is settling into life in Tokyo. Stepping off the plane at Narita Airport felt like entering a different world. The air was different, the language swirling around me was different, and the sheer scale of everything was, well, different. But that's the beauty of it, isn't it? The feeling of stepping into the unknown with nothing but your curiosity and an open mind guiding you. My first few days in Tokyo were a blur of orientation sessions, paperwork, and figuring out the basic essentials like how to navigate the labyrinth that is the Tokyo subway system. Let me tell you, those colored lines on the map, they look a lot easier to understand than they actually are. But after a few days of getting lost and asking for directions in broken Japanese, I started to get the hang of it. One of the best parts about studying in Tokyo is that you're never really alone. There's a huge international student community here, and everyone's in the same boat, trying to make sense of this massive, dazzling city. Finding a place to live was another adventure. Tokyo is known for its tiny apartments, and let's just say I had to adjust my expectations real quick. The room I ended up renting was small to say the least, but it had everything I needed: a bed, a desk, and even a little kitchen. Plus, it was in a neighborhood full of life, with small eateries, convenience stores, and a train station just a short walk away. University life, the heart of the experience. Once I settled in, it was time to dive into university life. The campus was nothing short of breathtaking. Picture this modern glass building set against a backdrop of sakura trees, with students bustling about, some on bikes, others chatting in groups, all with an air of purpose. The facilities were top-notch, state-of-the-art libraries, spacious lecture halls, and cafes that serve some of the best coffee I've ever had. Classes in Tokyo were a whole different ballgame compared to what I was used to. The Japanese education system is rigorous and demanding. Professors expect a lot from their students, but they're also incredibly supportive. One thing I noticed right away was the emphasis on group work and collaboration. Whether it was working on a project or preparing for a presentation, teamwork was at the core of the learning experience. And while that might sound intimidating, it actually made things a lot more engaging. Meeting people was surprisingly easy too. The university organized various events and activities for international students, like welcome parties, cultural exchange nights, and even trips to iconic places such as Mount Fuji and Kyoto. Through these, I met students from all over the world, each with their own story, each navigating this new life in Tokyo just like me, embracing the culture beyond the classroom. Living in Tokyo isn't just about studying, it's about immersing yourself in the culture too. And trust me, there's no better place to do it. The city is a cultural melting pot where the old and the new coexist in perfect harmony. One day you're wandering through the serene Meiji Shrine, surrounded by towering trees and the sound of birds chirping. And the next, you're in Shibuya, crossing the famous scramble with neon lights and giant screens flashing all around you. Food quickly became one of my favorite parts of life in Tokyo. The variety is staggering, from sushi and ramen to more obscure dishes like okonomiyaki and takoyaki. Street food is also a must-try. There's nothing like grabbing a piping hot taiyaki, a fish-shaped cake filled with sweet red bean paste from a vendor, and eating it on the go. And then there's the izakayas, Japanese pubs where you can sit down with friends, enjoy some yakitori grilled chicken skewers, and sip on sake or beer. These places are buzzing with energy, filled with locals unwinding after a long day, and they offer a glimpse into the everyday life of Tokyoites. Another highlight was the festivals. Japan is famous for its matsuri, and Tokyo is no exception. I'll never forget the first time I experienced a summer festival. The streets were lined with food stalls, the air filled with the scent of grilled meat and sweet treats, and everyone young and old was dressed in colorful yukatas, or summer kimonos. There were games, performances, and of course, the fireworks, which lit up the night sky in a dazzling display of colors. It was magical to say the least. Challenges and growth, the ups and downs. Of course, it wasn't all smooth sailing. There were definitely challenges along the way. For one, the language barrier was real. While I had studied Japanese before coming, it's one thing to learn it in a classroom and another to use it in everyday life. There were times when I struggled to communicate, whether it was ordering food at a restaurant or asking for directions. But every little success, like having a basic conversation with a local or reading a sign correctly, felt like a major victory. Then there was the academic pressure. Japanese universities are known for their high standards, and keeping up with the workload wasn't always easy. There were late nights spent studying, moments of doubt, and times when I wondered if I was really cut out for this. But those challenges pushed me to grow. I became more disciplined, more resilient, and learned to manage my time better. Plus, the support system at the university was incredible. There were always resources available, tutors, counseling services, and even study groups, so I never felt like I was in it alone. Homesickness was another hurdle. Being thousands of miles away from family and friends, especially during holidays or special occasions, was tough. But technology made it easier. Regular video calls with loved ones back home kept me connected, and over time, Tokyo started to feel more like a second home. I found comfort in my routine, in the friendships I built, and in the small joys of everyday life, like watching the seasons change from the cherry blossoms of spring to the golden leaves of autumn. Travel tips: preparing for your Tokyo adventure. If you're seriously considering studying in Tokyo, there are a few things you'll need to prepare before you embark on this adventure. First and foremost, get your paperwork in order. Japan has a strict visa application process, and you'll need to make sure all your documents like your acceptance letter, passport, and financial statements are in perfect shape. The process can be a bit tedious, but it's worth it for the peace of mind when you finally arrive in Japan. Next, it's a good idea to brush up on your Japanese language skills. While Tokyo is an international city and many people speak English, knowing basic Japanese will make your life a lot easier, especially when navigating daily tasks like shopping, asking for directions, or even reading signs. You don't have to be fluent, but learning some key phrases and familiarizing yourself with the hiragana and katakana alphabets will go a long way. Packing for Tokyo can be tricky because of the varying seasons. Summers are hot and humid, while winters can be quite cold, so be sure to pack accordingly. Also, Japanese fashion tends to be on the conservative side, so it's a good idea to pack clothes that are both comfortable and appropriate. And don't forget the essentials, like a good pair of walking shoes, because you'll be doing a lot of exploring on foot, and an international power adapter for your electronics. Before you go, take some time to familiarize yourself with Tokyo's public transportation system. Download apps like Google Maps and Hyperdia, which will be lifesavers when it comes to figuring out train routes and schedules. Also, consider getting a Suica or Pasmo card as soon as you arrive. These rechargeable smart cards are incredibly convenient for getting around the city. Just tap and go. Another tip, get travel insurance. Japan has excellent healthcare, but it's not cheap, especially for international students. Having insurance will give you peace of mind in case of any unexpected medical needs. Also, it's worth noting that Japan is a very safe country, but it's always better to be prepared. Once you're in Tokyo, don't hesitate to explore beyond the university campus. Tokyo is a massive city with so many unique neighborhoods, each offering something different. Spend a day in Harajuku for a dose of youth culture and quirky fashion, or head to Asakusa to soak in the traditional atmosphere at Sensoji Temple. If you're into anime and manga, Akihabara is a must-visit, while foodies will love Tsukiji Market and its endless array of fresh seafood. The Tokyo Advantage, why it's worth it. One of the biggest perks of studying in Tokyo is the endless opportunities for personal and professional growth. The city is a hub for innovation, with countless companies, startups, and research institutions based here. As a student, you have access to internships, part-time jobs, and networking events that can open doors to future career paths. I was able to secure an internship at a tech company during my second year, which not only gave me practical experience but also helped me build connections in the industry. Moreover, Tokyo's international environment means you're constantly meeting people from all over the world. This diversity enriches your experience, broadens your perspective, and helps you develop a global mindset, something that's increasingly important in today's interconnected world. Another advantage is the chance to explore Japan beyond Tokyo. The country is incredibly well connected, with the Shinkansen bullet train making it easy to travel to different cities. I made it a point to visit places like Kyoto, Osaka, and Hiroshima during school breaks. Each city has its own unique charm. Kyoto with its historic temples, Osaka with its vibrant street food scene, and Hiroshima with its poignant history. These trips added another layer to my understanding of Japan, giving me a deeper appreciation for its culture and history. Reflections: what I've learned. Looking back on my time in Tokyo, I can honestly say it's been one of the most transformative experiences of my life. Studying here has pushed me out of my comfort zone, challenged me in ways I never expected, and helped me grow as a person. I've gained not just academic knowledge, but life skills like adaptability, problem solving, and cross-cultural communication that will serve me well in the future. I've also developed a deep love and respect for Japanese culture. Living in Tokyo has given me a first-hand look at the values that define Japanese society, like respect for others, attention to detail, and a strong sense of community. These are lessons I'll carry with me long after I leave Japan, but perhaps the most valuable thing I've gained is the friendships I've made. The bonds I've formed with fellow students, both Japanese and international, are ones I'll cherish for a lifetime. We've shared so many experiences together, from late-night study sessions to weekend trips, and these connections have made my time in Tokyo all the more meaningful. Conclusion: the Tokyo experience. Studying in Tokyo isn't just about getting a degree. It's about embarking on an adventure that will shape you in ways you can't even imagine. It's about stepping into a city that's constantly buzzing with life, where every corner holds something new to discover. It's about learning to navigate a different culture, facing challenges head-on, and coming out stronger on the other side. If you're considering studying in Tokyo, my advice is simple: do it. It won't always be easy, and there will be moments when you feel overwhelmed, but those moments are part of the journey. And trust me, the rewards far outweigh the challenges. Tokyo is a city that leaves an indelible mark on you, a place where you'll create memories and experiences that will stay with you forever. So, are you ready to take the plunge? Because if you are, Tokyo is waiting, with its neon lights, bustling streets, and a world of opportunities just waiting to be explored. If you made to end of this video, what part of the world are you from? Let us know in comments down below.